Let's get started. Okay, first thing we're going to do is, this is how it will open up when you start the new interface. You'll see at the bottom here it's got go to the new Promob or stay on the classic. This is so that you can learn how the new interface works without having to learn from scratch when you've got a job or something on. So you can switch back between the two of them. At the top on the right hand side next to where my name is, you've got a thing called New Promob. This will switch over, it'll go on if you choose the new layout. If while you're in the new layout and you want to go back to the old layout, you can just switch it off and it'll go back to the old layout for you to get to use. So the idea is it's going to give you time to get used to how the new layout works. So once we actually pick the layout that we're going to use, let's go to the new layout. Here, that will be the difference. And again, like I said, on the right hand side, the new Promob is now highlighted. It's got the blue line on it. What is different here is the way the icons and things work. So we're going to still have File, and under File we've got New Design, which is where you would start your project. We've got an Import Design, and then we've got a Preferences. So under Preferences we can change on different areas on the preferences. Next to that we've got plugins, which we've already got, they're already included, so we don't need to worry about that. We've got update. If you want to force an update, you can click on here and quit or shut the program down. So once you're going to start a new program, and I'm just going to go to one that I've already got, I'm just going to click open. This region here is exactly the same as what we've had before. So as your project comes in, you're going to see it's going to change a few things. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how it changes. So once you're actually within your project, you're going to have different icons here up at the top. So under File, we've still got the New Design, we've got Save as an option if you want. We can close the program, we can go to our print, we can print PDF, and then we've got our Import and Export. That will be to bring in your SketchUp models and things like that. Reference, we've actually got a 3D floor plan or floor plan image. And then we've got Transfer Assistant, that's if you're going to be moving it onto a different machine. Our preferences that we've already been through. Plugins, again, we don't need to worry about. Update and quit. Okay, so it's very simple. Now what happens with inside Promob is we have to then go to the top menu up here, and we would go edit, and this is where it's going to give us more of the tools that you're used to, but instead of having them small and across the top, we've now got them in different categories. So at the top, for instance, edit, we've got our color picker, our changer, our floor adjustment, doing our walls. Over here now we can mirror images from here, we can build our ceilings, we can build staircases, we can do all our different geometry settings over here. This is our picker, so we can choose how we're going to move around if you want to, but you tend to just use the mouse anyway. We've got a cabinet builder, so if we click on the wall and the wall is highlighted, your cabinet builder will become active. This is for your side panels and things like that you want to add, as we had before. We've got things like duplicate, so if you've got something chosen, you can duplicate it. We can also group things. So if you've got multiple things by holding C down, for instance, we can actually go on and I can group. So if I want all this grouped, I can click on it like that, and then I can group them over here. We've got centralize, which will centralize where we are on the wall or whatever we're working on. And then further down here we've got calculate length. This is if you want to use the ruler, so you can click and it'll highlight different measurements and it'll put it over here so that you can see it. Or if I want one from that side, I just want to double check something, I can put the measurement here, just click on it like that, and it'll put it over here. There it is, there's 700. We've got our lock. This will lock your X and Y, that's your positioning if you want to do it. And then our other things, depending on what you've actually got connected. To bring this back, we just click again on this little arrow up here, and we can then actually go in, we can click and it'll give us the different options. We've got favorites, add to extra items, and we can also perforate. So there's a lot of things that we could do with the right mouse click, and some of those things are still there. They're still sitting in here if you need to actually get. Okay. So they haven't really moved a lot of things, it's just that the way that the menus have changed. If I go to view, again at the top now we've got view next, view prior, so we can just change it around if we want to. Viewpoints, this will allow us to change which direction we're looking from. Octagon, that allows us to change the style that we're looking at, the different positionings. Our shading, which we tend to leave on texture and lines. Show, this is what it wants you to see. This used to be in the bottom corner. We've now got it all sitting here if we need to. Same as collusion and joints, we normally leave those on. Auto lower, that is something that if you want to take something, you can auto lower it from different areas if you want to move things. I tend to just use, if I'm going to do wall, I'll just lower it through the right hand click on the wall. And then we've also got standard layout, which is this layout we've got here. What is new is we've got a layout system where you could actually say, well, I want to see my drawing, but I want to see it in 3 views. By clicking 3 views, it's going to bring in the different viewpoints, and I can move individually in those viewpoints. So this could come in handy if you're looking at one from one side and then you want to look at it from another side. You can actually see which one you want to do, and by double clicking on it you can still work in this viewpoint even though you've got these other 2 open. So to bring it back, we can also click on standard view again, and it'll give us your standard layout, which brings in all your menus again. If you want to go back to one view, you just have to come down here and click one view and you'll be back to your one view. Okay. Windows, we don't tend to really use a lot of this. This is already there. This is the different little functions that we've got on the side, what you want to actually see on this side over here. That's what these are here. So you can untick things if you don't use replacement or you don't use layers. You can untick those and it won't show up on the left hand side. And then tools, this is just your normal property tools, which is over here. So a lot of this information, models and things, is what is over here. Obviously when you click on a cabinet or something like that, then you're going to get your models coming up and array and things like that you can put in. Okay. The next menu along is your inserts. This is just if you want to insert something in a particular position, and you can also change your planes. So if it's a vertical, horizontal plane, you can actually change your angles here. I tend not to really use this, but it's there if you actually ever need to use it. Tools. This is probably one of your more used menus. We're going to have a picture viewer, which we're still working on. We've got our light, edit lights. This is where we would do our lighting the same as before. Dynamic view, this brings up your, just bring it in so you can see it. This brings up which view that you're looking at. So you can move it around and do your views. Render, under render we're going to have the render settings over here as normal. Under the render section we'll also have show and high area depending on what area you're going to be rendering. Turn that on and off. And we've obviously got our Q render, and then we've also got the button that you can press to get it to start to render. And in here you're going to have your AI render. So once you've done a render, you can select what you want to do AI rendering. I'm just going to cancel that one. 360 view project. Sending project to a viewer, and with this over here, this was the old 3D viewer. You can actually just go into your browser and you can move it around. You can copy this link, send it via email, or you can just open it and it'll open up and you'll have a 3D option available there to send to your customer if you want to. Send to gallery, that's if you want to send any of your renders or anything like that through to the Promob gallery online. Selected items, again, you can use this to select certain things that you want to have a look at. Click on that. Currency, this is where you would set up your currency rate, whatever you're working on. Next to that is your markups, so you can set up what your markup section is going to be. So again, Very similar to the other one, instead of going to your drop down menu, it's just all at the top here. It just makes it a lot easier to set up any markups or anything that you want to put in. And then you've got your budgets with all your different types of budgets and costings. Price table, release table, this is something new. 2020 Manager, that again is something that we've been working on, and it's starting to have a look at. You can negotiate, you can prepare for a deal. It allows you to do different options. Text editor is something new. We're working on that one. We'll give you more information on that as we go along. Feature configurator, this is obviously where we set up what type of systems we're going to be using. So it's where we would put in all our different measurements and setting up all our cabinets and information like that. This is if you've got the cut program. You can either save the file or you can send it directly to Promob Cut Pro. It'll let you send it through. And then the last one over here is Reversed, which is the one where you can add colors and tiles and things like that by adding your own things. Like I've got here, I've got some different ones that we've put in just to show you how it would work. We could go to different sort of areas, put things in with pictures. If we've got, let's have a look here, for instance, outside, what have we got there? Got some grass. So those sort of things you can add in yourself. That's under the reversed, and then under the help menu, in this tab, it'll give you your serial number, your version number, how many days are left. This tends not to be that accurate, so don't really worry too much about that. You can release your subscription here, which means if you're going to move it to another computer, you could click that. It will release the subscription. Sometimes you'd have to phone me and I would have to go on the server and do it, make a double release, so that when you move it to another computer or whatever, you can install Promob and reactivate it on a new machine or new hard drive, depending on what you need. And the rest of this, all these centers, this you would just contact me to do this. This is more for if you're living in Brazil. Okay, that's the main structure. The tools part is still exactly the same. On this side now, this is where it's changed. We've got our catalogs for our cabinets and for materials now in a drop-down box on this side. So again, everything works the same. You just have all your different catalogs on the top. You can still go in down here. So with the catalog system, you can go in from here. I can go here, I can say I want pantry units, and it'll give me the list of all the different catalogs, and I can just drag them in from this side. So all your catalogs and everything are still here. So if you go all the way through, you could go to decor, and your decor catalog will come in from here. And again, you'll have all the different types of catalogs. You can just go down to your drop down menu, which makes it sometimes a little bit easier. So we could go to bathrooms, and it'll bring in all the bathroom information. And once those are brought in where you've got all, you could actually come down here and you could say, well, actually I want showers, and it'll bring in just the shower section for you. So very similar, it's just that it's all nicely on one side now. It's quite easy to work with. And then materials. So again, if you're going down into your materials, you could go in and you can bring your materials in from this side. You can bring in, for instance, on this one, I can change the style, whether it's vertical or horizontal. I can also go down here and I could bring in floor. So this is materials, not from your models list. This is your materials that used to be along the bottom, where you can just drag it in and put it onto the floor, or whichever way you want to do it. So the catalogs are all now based on this one side, which makes it very simple. Extra items is the same as we had before. Automatic insertions, this again you can change, and depending on what room you're working on or what section you want to work on, you can obviously do automatic tops, kick plates, you can put different hinges and things in, all from here, which will be automatic into the system. This one will give you a model list, so it'll tell you what is actually inside the project. Layers, you can layer, so you can turn off certain elements. So if I go back to layers, you can actually turn off certain elements maybe you don't want, or you can lock them. So I can turn off and it will hide whatever I want it to hide. And if you've got something which is a default or something, you can turn them off. You can also lock areas. And later on you can actually add an area, which we'll go through. I'll make a video on that as well, so that you can understand how that actually works. And then we've also got down here, we've got a replacement. So I hope this little video will help you get started. If now, for instance, you're working on this and you can't find things, or you're getting a little bit stuck, just come up to the top right hand side here where it says New Promob. You can click on that and you'll see it'll go back to the original for you to actually use as you were before. And then as you get more used to using the program, you can still just click back and you can change between the two.